Welcome back to Crisco's Corner, unfiltered commentary, not your truth, the real truth. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back. From Breitbart News, Pinkerton joke of the day, vulnerable Senate Dems propose cutting gas tax. Yeah. I'll use this thing I use all the time that people seem to get a kick out of. These guys suck so bad. Let's read on. Here's an actual headline, good for some laughs. Vulnerable Senate Dems try to run as tax cutters. That howler of a headline appeared this week in Politico. Well, I got to put the real, let's do it for real. Yeah, that is laughable. Here's a publication explained 4 Democrat senators are up for re-election in 2022. No. Really? Mark Kelly of Arizona, who's on the way out. Maggie Hassan of New Hampshire. That's more of a libertarian, right-leaning state, believe it or not. Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. And Raphael Warnock of Georgia. Someone that absolutely has zero. When I mean anybody in the U.S. Senate should not be there. Of the top 5, he is one of them. And now in favor of suspending the federal gas tax, which is 18.4 cents a gallon. Now, okay, how are you going to replace the money? And where does the money go? And does Secretary Buttigieg go along with this? He doesn't care. He's not up for re-election. He's going to coast his way through and get a nice salary or some think tank somewhere. It's crazy. Let's read on. Politico added slyly, it's no coincidence that Democrats most involved in a new push hail from the toughest battlegrounds. Yeah. And the article further added that in light of the failure of big-ticket legislative items such as Build Back Better, Democrats are racing to cobble together an agenda that convinces voters that the party is responding to their biggest concern, rising costs. You're the cause of it. You're the cause of the rising costs. Unbelievable. That's like poisoning somebody's water and then come along and say, well, I'm going to fix it for you. I'm the hero. Idiots. And millions will believe them. We can pause to observe that rising costs, a.k.a. inflation, have always been a Democratic weakness because the party's basic bent is toward high spending that has the predictable effect of overheating the economy and thus driving up prices and making the deficit, well, I mean, it's obscene right now. I don't even know what to tell you. Yet now having ballooned federal spending and the money supply, the Democrats shouldn't be surprised that inflation is raging. Notably, national gasoline prices have surged by 40% in the last year from $2.40 to $3.40 a gallon. So sure, an 18 cents cut tax might help consumer pocketbooks, but yet it wasn't long ago that Democrats are mostly in favor of steps to reduce drilling for oil and natural gas, knowing full well that clamping down supply would raise prices. To their way of thinking, higher prices for carbon fuels were a feature, not a bug. They think that the vast majority of Americans are stupid. And to tell you the truth, there are millions that are. Is it going to be enough for them to slip through? Indeed, it was just in 2020 that House Democrats unveiled a plan for eliminating CO2 from cars by 2035. Notice they always put it so far out that none of them, some of them might even be alive, let alone in office. And then when that date does come, they always say, well, this person stopped it and that stopped it. And they always blame somebody else. In that same campaign year, candidate Joe Biden declared, I would transition from the oil industry. Yes, he added, it's a big statement because the oil industry pollutes significantly. It has to be replaced by renewable energy. And when it came to office, the following year, the Biden administration put a date next to that pledge, committing to zero emissions by 2050. Most of them will be dead. I know he will. It's incredible how bad these people suck. And why do people keep voting for them? Good Lord. I'm not saying Republicans have all the answers by any means. But these guys suck so bad. They are so horrible. And it's not that I'm anti-Democrat Party. I was a member of the Democrat Party here in upstate New York as a local elected official in city council in 2000. I was council president one year, that Democrat. I left the party years ago, of course. It's just what's happened to them is just unbelievable. It's obvious what Democrats as a whole really think. We shouldn't have a fossil fuel industry. Given that overall commitment, no righteous green was going to be sorry to see carbon energy prices rise as a way of pricing out consumption. And the last thing the Greens would want is a cut in costs, as that would encourage more consumption of the dreaded carbon fuels. As we remember, on his first day in office back in January 20th, 2021, the Biden administration canceled the Keystone XL pipeline and has carried on a determined bureaucratic war. And that's what they do. A bureaucratic war. Well, let me highlight that. There it is. A bureaucratic war, and that's what they do. They use the system to destroy things they don't want. Sample headline from last June, Biden may hinder oil and gas drilling even after court loss. Now, what that does, I'll just briefly say, when that started happening as soon as he was sworn in, people that buy oil futures, in other words, they bet on the future price of oil, all decided it was going to go way up because of the cutbacks in production. So naturally, the futures prices all went up, which causes the prices now. In other words, true to their campaign pledge, the Bidenites were dogged in their green zeal. Here at Breitbart News, this author has written much about one of those green zealots, Sarah Bloom Raskin, who Biden appointed the Federal Reserve after she wrote in favor of using federal regulatory power to choke off financing for the fossil fuel industry. Fortunately, some 10 million American energy jobs, Republicans in the U.S. Senate have blocked Raskin from reaching that post. Oh, God. We should note that this is exactly what hardcore Democrat voters want. Polls show that climate change is the most important issue for blue voters, heavily tilted as they are toward affluent, post-industrial, anti-auto cities such as San Francisco and Seattle. Now with Biden's approval rate is in the 30s, they're thinking about joining these embattled Democrat senators. Yeah, because you're getting your asses kicked. All options are on the table. All options to save your behind, then you'll turn around and do it again. I'm not going to read this whole article here. You can if you want to. I'll scroll through it. It's blatantly transparent. Of course it is, said John Thune of South Dakota. It's politically motivated. Yeah, do you think? Oh, gosh. The deep green reality of the Bidenites was further driven home on February 18th when Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican of Louisiana, who ripped the Biden appointees at the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for blocking new permits for natural gas. Cassidy highlighted the geopolitical threat as well as the inflationary threat. And we can go through all this, but the fact of the matter is the price could go to $7 a gallon or more, depending on what goes on in Russia and Ukraine. It's amazing to me, absolutely amazing. My understanding, the second year of the Trump administration, whether you hate the guy's guts or not, this is a fact, we were energy independent for the first time basically since World War II. And I'm 65, and it was before I was born. He screwed all that up, all of it. We were exporting as much oil as Saudi Arabia does now. Exporting, which brings in money from around the world into our country. These guys, honestly and truly, could... up a free lunch. People gonna fall for this crap? Well, mandates are down. Restrictions are down. You can move around now. You don't have to be a second-class citizen. You don't need to mask in public. You don't need to mask your children. We're going to lower gas prices. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. It's all the Democrats. And how many millions of dumb people are going to fall for it? Let's pray to God not. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.